Dear God, 2025 is almost over, and I seriously feel like you haven't taken notice of me all year long. I've been good, I've been kind, I haven't kicked one single stray puppy all year long. And what did I get in return? At least one gay dude asking for my number every single month since January. And I'm not even gay, God, you know that. Well, except that one time in college. But that wasn't even a real human being. That was a kitchen utensil. So 2026, God, do me a solid, man. Get me some hot babes. Peace. Amen. All right. Hey guys, welcome to the GX channel. So the weirdest thing happened to me the other day. Some random stranger sent me a picture of my suspension on my Instagram page, and he said, "This does not look right, Bob. Your bushings are pushing out. You forgot to include the inner washers." And then he went on to say that the small opening in my bathroom window has a great view. Hey, who's out there? Which is kind of weird. So I went back to YouTube and looked at my 2-inch lift video to see if I was missing any washers in the hardware kit that came with my upper control arms, and I didn't. And I looked onto the upper control arm website to see how many washers were included in the kit, and it shows a total of 8. But when I received the box, all I did was install 4, 2 per side, 1 washer per bushing on the outer ends of each bushing. I'm like, that's so weird. So I went and looked at my OEM upper control arms, and I remember not seeing any washers on the inside of the bushings. And I automatically assumed that the aftermarket didn't require washers either. So was this a boo-boo on my part, or was it because I received a box of upper control arms that was missing hardware? We'll never know, guys. The correct way to do it is 4 washers per side. So let's go ahead and get started. Luckily, I have a set of washers from an FJ Cruiser that my friend just happened to have laying around. And we know these 2 trucks share a lot of similar parts. I'm not going to show you guys how to remove and reinstall a upper control arm because we already did that. If you guys want to check it out, I'll provide you a link below this video and you can go ahead and shoot over there and check it out. This one is just for the lessons learned I have encountered while doing the upper control arm that's going to make your life so much easier. So let's go ahead and get started, guys. Lesson number 1, the brake line bracket. Come on. This brake line bracket right here is in a straight line of your upper control arm bolt, which prevents you from putting any socket or extension on there without creating a weird angle for you to potentially strip your nut. This will result in you having to go use a crow's foot instead. But using a crow's foot to clear that brake line can be very cumbersome. Because the space is very minimal between your fender and your tire, when you do your final upper control arm bolt, it only allows you to do 1 click at a time, depending on your torque wrench. So if you're doing 1 click at a time, you're gonna have to keep taking this out and relocating the angle of this crow's foot just to do that 2nd click. Take it out and then do this again, and you're gonna end up doing it 20 or 30 times before you finally get your torque down. I found that removing this 12mm bolt and pushing this bracket forward 1 inch gives you room and space to fit a socket and an extension. Lesson number 2, the torque wrench. Most all standard torque wrenches, especially if you buy it on Amazon or your local auto parts store or hardware store, is going to come with less than 80 teeth on the gears. What does that mean? Less teeth means more arc swing, meaning if you have to get 1 click out of your gears, it's going to take this much swing just for 1 click. You're going to have to start all over again and do this. You're gonna have to start all over again and do this. You can go ahead and do the alternative by buying a torque wrench with more teeth, 120 teeth. But with torque wrenches that come with more teeth, comes with less strength. You want something that's going to power 85 foot-pounds for that upper control arm bolt, but you want more clicks out of your torque wrench. How do you do that? You optimize the space that you're going to be using in this fender well to your tires. Most people are just going to slap a socket or slap an extension and go ahead and start clicking away. But if you take a look, if you go back out here, you're going to find out the space between your tires and your fender is going to be a lot larger than the space between your fender and your tires right here. You want more clicks per arc swing. So try to find a socket extension combination that is going to bring your torque wrench all the way out here. The combination I used was a 5 to 6 inch extension with a socket combination, and it optimized my arc swing. Lesson number 3, hardware. Instead of doing this, whatever you take off, leave it where it's supposed to be. This way you reinstall with the correct hardware and you also don't lose the hardware. Lesson number 4, the pry bar. The first 2 washers are going to go in very easily. The third washer is like trying to squeeze your fat brother-in-law into economy on Frontier Airlines. There is absolutely no gap whatsoever to squeeze this washer between your structure and your bushing. What I found works great is if you use a pry bar and create the gap for the washer to enter its correct space. Once you create that space with the pry bar, you take a hammer and you start hammering that washer into its space. If you go too far, it's okay. You can take the whole upper control arm and move it back towards you, and that will make the whole entire washer come out along with it. And then you start over again, you take a hammer and you start hammering this washer back into place. You're going to be doing this blindly because you don't have a view of the center hole. But I found what works is I take my entire hand and feel around the washer and bushing, and that gives you an idea of how centered you are. You should have equal spacing along the whole periphery of the washer in correlation to the bushing. So you're going to be doing a few things at the same time. You're going to be wiggling this bolt in and out and pushing it towards the rear while moving this back and forth to center this washer to make sure that bolt fits directly through the hole. If you need some readjustment, go back with your hammer and tap lightly on the top and on the side. And if you need to readjust going upwards or going towards you, you take your upper control arm and pull it accordingly, and the whole washer will move along with the upper control arm. Torque your upper control arm bolt while the vehicle is on the ground. This will require you to put your wheels and tires back on the vehicle before doing your very last step. By torquing your final nut while the vehicle is on the ground, you release a lot of the preload that will cause premature bushing failure later on. I'm sure if you have already gone this far by choosing to put an upper control arm into your vehicle, you have already done a lift on your vehicle, which means you created plenty more space to work on when your vehicle is actually on the ground. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to be releasing a video very soon doing a Christmas giveaway. I'm going to be giving away a few products that are over $100 each, okay? You don't have to sign up for anything. This is not a scam. You don't have to give me any of your private information. This is a free giveaway for all of those that have followed me throughout the years, okay? Watch for that video.